With the completion of these panels, episode 2 of Dead Gods, called The Hunting Ground, is complete. I want to celebrate this milestone, but I also want to take the opportunity to look back at what worked and what didn't, and to discuss what the future has in store. Hunting Ground took 15 videos to finish. At a video a week, that's close to 4 months to finish 4 pages. That seems slow. And it would be if that's all I had accomplished. The last few months have still been very productive. I redesigned a handful of characters from early on in the series. I've been wanting to explore the use of 3D to accelerate my workflow, and it worked. I was able to build and use assets directly in the second half of this story. I was also able to do some meaningful exploration outside of this episode. I designed the first pass of an Atlantean dive suit, a location I'm looking forward to tackling in the future. I also drew some witches. I was able to look into the metaphysics of Nephilim spirits and what separates dinosaurs from dragons. I took a peek into the mysterious dry places, a dimension, for lack of a better term, that I anticipate will play an important role throughout the series. I even got more unhinged and opened the door to selectively bred mythological humanoids, as well as created a system for introducing chimeras. These were the biggest stress tests on the setting yet, and in my opinion, nothing broke. Now that I can sit back and survey the landscape, I see a lot of progress. Thankfully, that's not just a matter of my own opinion. I have data. Since starting Hunting Ground, I've added 30,000 new followers and subscribers across all platforms, which I'm very grateful for. These rising numbers indicate that my theory was correct. At this early stage of the project, it's worth losing a little bit of speed to leave room to explore some extra design and world-building material. So what worked and what didn't? When it comes to storytelling, I cut 80 to 90% of the words from this episode, and now that it's done, I think that was the right call. There's a lot of information I wanted to give the reader, but I'll have plenty of opportunities to show rather than tell as the story continues. Building props and architecture in 3D wasn't the success I originally was hoping for, but it was still a success. Naturally, improvements can be made. First off, I just need to get better at using the tools. I am my own biggest obstacle. One thing that will help is that instead of focusing on building complete sets, I'll continue to practice on smaller assets and use them to assemble the final images on the page. Kind of like a collage, I'll kit bash the illustrations together using renders of my models. This will give me more control over the final frame and allow me to spend more time making the individual models better. When it comes to line work, I think the next episode will be a time to experiment. I've been using the same workflow that I used when I made Tellurian. Thumbnail, to sketch, to pencils, to inks. It's a solid process that served me well, but I have a theory. I suspect that if I work a little looser by skipping the inking stage and simply adding a bit more polish to my pencil stage, not only will it speed me up, but it will also better suit the nature of the story. A little more grit, a little more feeling. I tend to lose energy between each step, so I hope to increase the overall dynamism by removing one. With 2 episodes done, I can take a big step back and look at some trends. When looking at everything in black and white, I think I'm still falling short of one of my goals. I want to use black more. I still see a lot of mid-tones. Doing a quick messy test here shows roughly where I'd like to be. I think that in order to accomplish this, I'm going to do my pencil stage with ink. It'll definitely be outside my comfort zone. I took a look at color as well, and honestly, I don't have any major concerns. It turns out that when you just use the colors you like, you tend to like them all the way to the end. I want to be careful not to get too comfortable though. I'd like to try to push myself to use unexpected palettes. So what's next? The first 2 episodes are done, and I'll continue to add episodes until I've reached the unknown number when it makes sense to compile them, along with all the relevant sketches and designs, into a physical book. I'll repeat that process as many times as I can. Once I reach the ending to this story, that has been spoiled for millennia, I'd like to put all of those books in a nice box, maybe with an art book stuffed in there too. You can help me get there sooner. Right now, I'm just some guy working on a side project. With the incredible support of patrons, subscribers, and book buyers, I'm able to license actual music and pay for the resources I need. but this is a lot of project, and I'd rather have the story told than to be able to say I did it all by myself. With more support, I'd like to be able to pay artists to create better models than I'm able to make. One day, I'd love to work with a composer, animators, and other artists who can take on entire episodes. I don't know where we'll end up, but if you'd like to help me get to wherever that point is, consider joining me on Patreon, becoming a member on YouTube, or just sharing this project with the group chat. Thanks for watching.